This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. Target audience, the absolutely perfect target audience is a person who's considering Postmates to be a Postmate, to deliver for Postmates, uh, who is, like considering it or brand new, like has completed his or her first delivery, has maybe gotten on the schedule but not yet worked that scheduled shift. Uh, that would be perfect. If I am getting you at the moment, stay tuned. This will be awesome. Anyone else who has any interest in Postmates, anyone else who is, of course, just bored and clicking around on the internet, it might be fun. I'm in New York City. I'm at Port Authority bus terminal. Um, it's Sunday. I have my first scheduled shift with Postmates. So for some of you who know what that means, but you haven't done it yet, like I say, this will be awesome. I promise. And this is why it's going to be awesome, because I'm going to tell you something I'm never going to be able to tell you again, is I'm going to be able to like train you for you being a novice when I'm a novice myself. Again, I have not yet operated in my first scheduled shift. I am doing that today. So, by contrast to what my training is going to be to Diego. Now, Diego is a professional. Diego is an employee. He's management of Postmates. Diego has 10 bicycles. Diego is cool. I mean this with the most sincerity. I'm not mocking Diego. If I were more like Diego, more people would think I'm cool. And I say that like you think, well, why don't you be more like Diego? Well, I'm trying, and I really mean that. So, Diego, if I manage to get your attention, and I will try, I want you to know I am trying to be more like you. Now, unfortunately, you advised me to get an iPhone, and I didn't try there. In fact, I tried not to get an iPhone. So here's my first orientation tip right here. This is there it is, ZTE. All right, this is it's called the ZTE Obsidian. $19 in a New York City PCS mobile store. All right, this is so cheap that they didn't want to tell me they had it. I called before I went and said, "Do you have everything on the website? Are you one of those express stores?" No, we have all that mobile PCS products. Great. So I go in and I said, "I want your least expensive cell phone." Suddenly they're not showing me this phone. They didn't want to sell me this phone. I had to specifically ask for it. Now, I felt hustled and harassed at this 23rd Street PCS mobile store. So, if you enjoy the New York people trying to dip into your pockets and take things without earning them, then 23rd near Home Depot in I guess that would be Chelsea. Home Depot's between 5th and 6th. This is between 6th and 7th, I think. It might be between 7th and 8th. Anyways, mobile PCS, they're Indian, they're Gujarat, two women. They will take your money, um, keep an eye on your wallet. So they didn't get any more money from me than they earned. They got $19 on this phone, 20 bucks to uh, uh, initiate. Um, I don't know the word for that. 20 bucks to start the service, and then another 30 bucks for the first month. So I was like, I can't do the math, but something tells me I was 92 minus 16. So I was like less than 80. So there we go. ZTE Obsidian. There's the first novice tip. Again, if you listen to Diego and you want to be cool like Diego, I might be someday, but at the moment, I'm not trying hard enough. He says iPhone 6. Everyone I ask that is cool, that lives in Brooklyn, that like has 10 bicycles, these people all have iPhone. All right. Uh, another tip. These people that told me to get iPhone, there were two different men. One was Diego, and one, of course, was someone not as cool as Diego. Probably only has 6 bicycles. Uh, this man said iPhone also. Both men who said iPhone, and I asked this question twice. Fortunately, the first person I asked couldn't hear me asking it the second time, so I think I got away with the impoliteness of asking twice as if I didn't believe him. You know why? Because I didn't believe him. So the question is this: if you want me to get an iPhone, why? Obviously, I suspect it's because of fashion only, which I'm willing to surrender at least temporarily. Um, so maybe it's because for legitimate reasons that I will regret, like tech problems. So that surfaced my next question. you your Postmate people, I'd already discovered, are encouraged to report bugs. So if there is a problem with, there's a report bug button right on like the list of five main menu choices. Report bug. So this is a tech company. They're absolutely awesome. They don't want bugs in their apps. So I said, is there more? Do you know? Are there more reported bugs on the Android than on the iPhone? No, it works fine. So I will say it in a way. This is the app right there. It's the green one, and I'm not going to be able to get it to show. Maybe I can. There it is. There's the green one, right? The two dots, the red and the blue dot, is Flickr, and right next to it, between the open space and Flickr, is the app. It's a green app. The black one is for people who are ordering on Postmates. This is called Postmates Fleet, and it is F, like the F word, only it's Fleet. So it shows alphabetically under F, not under P, like Paul, not like P, like Postmates, F, like Fleet. So that's the app. It's green. That's the one Postmates want to get. Again, the primary target of this video is Postmates who are novice. If you find this, here's why. If you listen to Diego, he's already forgotten the stuff that confused him when he was new. Like he forgot it 3 years ago. And and other things that he did learn that were confusing, those things have been fixed. So I am this is fresh. So if you happen to get this when it's fresh and you're considering Postmates, you're a novice, you will find this awesome. Again, the green app, not the black one. You want the F like Fleet, not P like Postmates. Those are the only two Postmates apps that are out there. So, next lesson. Um, I have taken the time to understand what my apps are doing and what they aren't. So here's the first lesson that I think is critically important. You go to your main menu, Bink. I'm already there, and then here, yep. And now I'm going to hit this button here, System. I could have gone direct and hit Apps, but okay. So somewhere in here, I can't get the white screens to show very well. Apps. I could have gone direct. I don't know why I didn't. So now there are my apps. And yeah, you can kind of see it. The word that I really want to show is right there, and that word is downloaded. So those are the apps I have on my phone, completely irrelevant to battery power. This would be so great if that showed. Anyways, that word up there is running. So these are the apps that are running on my phone. So for example, I have Hangouts running on my phone, and I don't need it. All right, so I can touch Hangouts, and I can stop Hangouts. Ding. Ciao Hangouts. This is, of course, Android phone. It's different on the iPhone. And so now, if I go back to running apps, my running apps no longer has Hangouts. It does, actually, but all right, I'm going to take the time to, all right, it should go away. Maybe I just need to refresh Hangouts. I'm going to do it again. Stop. Maybe I didn't hit OK properly there. I think I did it better the second time. Yeah, so for some reason it is starting again. For some reason I have something happening that's making Hangouts stay in there. So I have this thing that I think I need Hangouts because I have my text going through Hangouts. The customer, this phone is, for me, it's exclusively for Postmates. I'm not trying to do anything else with this phone. Nobody has this phone number. They have no reason to have this phone number. My 302-990-2346 number dumps to this phone. So I don't need this to do anything else. So for some reason, Hangouts isn't going away. For some reason, I've got Hangouts operating on this phone. It won't go away. So that's the kind of thing that's needed to uh, minimize the number of apps running. Now, novice people considering Postmates, anyone wondering about Android, that's relatively few number of apps. All right, I have already beat the bushes to try to get that list as short as possible. The only one, and I did it so aggressively that all of a sudden my phone quit working and I had to do a factory reset. So I overdid it. So I know that Hangouts is the only one running there that I don't want, that I don't need. But for some reason, my phone seems to think I need it. So that's lesson number one. The running apps will, keeping that list at a bare minimum will spare battery. And I'm telling you, this $19 phone seems to have sufficient battery power. Okay, next lesson. Right, right here. All right, I'm going to push this button here in the bottom right. That gets me the menu. That's not really what I wanted to do. Okay, I'm going to push it again to make the menu go away. This is what I wanted to do. Swipe from the top. Okay, and I got sign into Wi-Fi network, Google, Starbucks. So I've been doing this on data instead of on. I've been doing this on my cellular network instead of Wi-Fi, and I'm sitting here in Wi-Fi, so that's kind of dumb because I have a data limit on my cheap $30 plan. So there we go. Port authority. I'm logging in. I'm going to have an accept button here in a minute. It didn't make me accept. So, anyways, now I'm on Wi-Fi. I can go like this. Right there. It says Postmates, first day on the schedule. No shit. You can't believe how excited I am. Uh, so, so Google Starbucks. It says it right there. So I am now on Wi-Fi. So what that means is for those of you that use phones and you just don't get what they're doing, you know, that's fine. If you just call your friends and do Facebook, that's fine. But if you're going to do Postmates, you got to know what your phone's doing. And if it's like running 20 apps and you need two, then you got to figure out which ones you don't need. Again, I went through that running list. I started stopping apps. I ended up cutting too deep. I even got warned to say, don't do this one. And I thought, why not? I ended up doing a factory reset. So that I advise that. Get the phone down to nothing. So why be so aggressive on making your phone do only what you want it to for Postmates? Because this is why. See that battery power? 90%. I am working like 11 hours today, maybe not that many, 9 or 10 hours today, and I don't have any fear that I'm going to run out of battery power. That was a lie. I do have fear, and I have my charge cord with me, but I don't think I'll need it. Okay, so anyway, summary, lesson one, get a phone, $19. XTE or something really cheap. Do not listen to Diego. He knows a lot, but he's way cooler than you need to be to do this job. Let's face it, you're delivering food. You don't need to be cool. You don't have to have an iPhone 6. All right. So, but this one, if you have an iPhone 6, then get a second phone. It's Android. You'll learn how to get rid of the apps you want. So I'm going to review that again. You go here. Doggone it. I got to push the button on the right first. That gets my menu. Now I go this button in the middle. So you see I go to the desktop and then I click here. Now this time I'm going to go directly to apps. That manage apps right there. Manage apps. Bing, bing. Okay, so now I've got my manage apps and I slide it over. No, I'm still under running. So I go to running and I look at running. Haha, what do you know? You see that? I can even see it in my own screen. Awesome. No more Hangouts. So my phone surrendered Hangouts because they do tend to like stick, and you stop them, and you get the impression that the phone thinks you need it, and you think you don't, and generally the phone's right. It needs it. No, it's not. The phone isn't right. Remember, these things were programmed by humans, people, novice, postmate people. You are human. These were programmed by humans. So, anyways, be aggressive. Attack this list of running apps because it will drain your battery. Okay, so I've successfully got rid of Hangouts. Um, And I know that what I want you to know is I know that I don't know what they all do, but I know that I get warning signs if I try to stop any of these other apps. So I have surrendered that I need all of them. I'm not 100% sure. If I could talk to some Android expert, then I might test that further. But with my novice testing, I would be unnecessarily aggressive if I attack some of these other apps. So that's the first lesson. Get a phone, just be everything you can do to spare battery power. Now, one thing I'm not doing yet because I'm afraid to is reducing to 2G. I can reduce this to 2G and save even more power, but I'm not. I haven't done a scheduled shift yet, and I'm afraid to do that. But if I do that, I think I'll extend this battery power to essentially infinite. Something upwards of 12 hours. So again, I'm still on 4G. A little nervous to go to 2G. I'm afraid the app will start maybe notifying me late, and I'll get even less time to accept the assignments. Okay, moving on. The next thing with the app, okay, I'm going to go back to my desktop, and that's the app right there, the green one. It's Postmates, F like fleet, not P like Postmates. And I'm already logged in. Oh, and uh, that is the daily message. They make it sound like it's going to be fresh. It's going to tell you something you don't know. It's been the same one every day since I started, which is like 3, 4 days. Um, so here's so earnings. I'm going to do earnings later on my computer, and there's the schedule. This thing is a little confusing. It's still loading. Okay, there's the schedule. Oh, good. I think it is showing, or kind of showing. There we go. So right here are the 2 weeks. Now I'm still Sunday of this week here. So this is absolutely awesome. Casting. Okay, this is awesome. It hasn't, there we go. So now I've got the days. Uh, okay, so that is the schedule. Now, what's written here is closed. Closed means you can't be scheduled. It doesn't mean you can't work. It just means you get the jobs that nobody else wants. Overflow. So those are my 3 jobs so far. I got 3 deliveries. They all fall into overflow. Nobody uses the word overflow. That's my word. But these are the ones that like nobody took. Guys like Diego would not take the jobs that I've taken. So this is, one woman working late at his office tower, and she gets a salad and a beverage, and I earn $5. Um, and my tip is still pending. Abigail, tip me. So, anyways, those are closed. So you can still go online. You can still get yourself in a zone, and you can still take jobs, but you won't get as many. And in my novice assessment, you're going to get the jobs no one else wants. So I'm going to scan down further. Okay. Now this is absolutely awesome. Yeah, so I could start at 11. That blue button would let me start at 11, but I'm just a little bit rushed. I'm a little bit nervous. I got all these scheduled. This right here will be my first scheduled shift, and that starts at noon. And then my wife gets off work tonight at somewhere. I tried to coincide this with her start time, end time. I don't know her exact end time. Probably 9. So I'm scheduled 8 to 9. And then 10, she'd be commuting. I'd go home with her. So I'd get another delivery during that time, but it's closed. So anyways, I'm not going to waste time on this whole thing is, you know, I would spend more time on this skip, swap stuff. But just novice people, if you're trying to learn something from me, you're going to. I'm telling you, if you're a novice, nothing could be better than this training. You learn it from a guy from Diego. He's going to forget all the little quirky things that you need to know, and those things that he didn't forget and he tells you about, they might have been fixed anyway. And I'm not saying Diego specifically. I'm saying people who are already advanced, they seem like the best trainers. No, they're not. Guys like me, when it's fresh, when I'm still a novice, haven't yet done my first shift, this is the best trainer. A week from now, a month from now, I'll already forget what I did. In fact, if I get someone who wants to learn this, I'll send them back to this video. Again, I have yet to work my first scheduled shift. I have three. I have three deliveries so far. None of them scheduled. None of them while I was scheduled. Okay, so that's the end of schedule. So I'm going back into the app. My earnings is on here, but I also have it on my computer, so I'm going to do that on screen share. Then there's a help center. Oh, this is an absolutely awesome thing. I go yesterday. Later in the process, I learned that the woman's name is Marion, because you don't know that until you pick up the order and you're on your way out and you go to the building. You don't get information until you need it, which is cool. And you so I'm at Potbelly, and I call. They don't have the cookie she ordered, but they do have what looks like a close substitute. So I click help and I click call customer, and it dials, and the woman answers, and I said, I'm at Potbelly. I don't say pay Postmate because I've discovered some of these orders originate on a different website. So like Starbucks is one of them. The ones that I think originated my first two orders were seamless. So they don't really know they're on Postmates. So I didn't say Postmates. Instead, I said, I'm at Potbelly. I'm picking up a delivery, a sandwich, and something. Am I talking to the person who ordered that? Yes. Okay. So we have a cookie crisis. We sorted that thing out. I substituted a cookie and I used my pack card. I won't describe pack card. An experienced person can describe pack card. There's no advantage to learning from a novice. So what I do want to say is that this is absolutely often. You call people today, anyone. This is not my target audience of novice or considering Postmate people. This is anyone. Anyone, listen, audience. If you call someone today and your number is unrecognized, it goes to voicemail at such a high percentage of the time. When you're a Postmate and you're calling Marion, you don't know her name yet, she doesn't know your number, it gets dispatched as Postmates. So she knows Postmates calling. She missed my call. She dialed back in seconds. So it's cool. They don't get your phone number. You don't get theirs. And you get identified. The Postmate delivery person gets identified as Postmate. So they're hungry. They're waiting for their food. You're the man. You're the woman. This is absolutely awesome feature. Okay, so they protect one another's phone number. So, if you thought the woman was cute, you thought the guy was cute, whatever, you want to call that person, no, you don't get their number. So that's one reason they do it. They don't want to, aid in criminal stalking. But the other reason is not mentioned as a benefit, but in my opinion, it's a huge benefit. They know who you are when you're calling. Okay, that's lesson whatever. I'm not counting anymore. Right here, main menu. Report a bug. Report a bug. It's the bottom one there. Report a bug. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I got it. Report a bug. So that's why I asked the iPhone people, hey, it says report a bug. Do you get more reports on Android than iPhone? Oh, no. The app works great on both. So $19 instead of $800. $19 instead of $800. Okay. Now I'm going to go to my earnings. So I'm going to take this phone, beep, and I'm going to put it in my bucket. Just going to be a little bit clumsy. So just review before I do this. I am sitting. There is a shift available. I could click on schedule. I would be scheduled right now. It would be my first shift, but I'm going to wait till 11. Now I'm going to go online. It's the last thing I do before I end this video. I'm going to show you how to say online. Again, the target audience of this is novice Postmate people, people considering Postmate. This is a training from an authentic novice. All right, you learn from an expert person like Diego. You're going to learn something that experts know, and what you really want to know is a little quirky, confusing things that are going to happen when you're a novice. Who knows that best? A authentic novice. That's me. So now I'm going to share my screen, and share screen. Pink. All right, I have too many windows open. Hang on, close, close, go to Postmates, and good, I'm logged in. And I had forgotten I can do the schedule on the computer also, so I'm going to do that again. Um, oh. Why would I have that open? I got other windows to close. I still had windows open from last night. I just got a Google Voice message. I got to see who that's from. Uh, yes, I will. Hang on. Listeners, I'm going to check a voicemail I just got. Um, I'm mistaken. I have no voicemail. Um, nope. Okay. So now I have. Ah. So I'm going to the Postmate app. I've closed these other windows, and I had an Adam Strom client file open. So I am not. I'm a very open person, but I'm not open with information that's been trusted to me to not be open. So now I have the one window open that I want. Yes, this looks much better. Schedules. So I'm going to share this screen. Share. So I am presenting to everyone, and I am sharing. So this, of course, is awesome. So here we go. I'm going to redo schedules. I wish I had known I could do this. Um, uh, Listeners, again, the primary target of this audio is people who are considering Postmates or people who are novice. Ideally, you would be exactly who I am when you're listening, someone who has run, maybe done a couple of deliveries, but not yet scheduled. I am scheduled for the first time in 1 hour. I am an authentic novice. So those of you who are listening that fit that criteria, here's what I want you to know is that the confusing thing that I just did is I tried to show you how the schedule works. And I tried to do it from my phone. That's because I didn't know it was on the Courier app. So here's the first thing, postmates.com/courier. What that means is the cool stuff in here that you need can be done on any browser. The stuff that's in the app exclusively has to be Android or iPhone. So I had forgotten that the schedule was in here, and so I went ahead and tried to do my training on the app when in reality I could have done it here, postmates.com/courier/schedule. So I'm going to do this again. So this is the week. We're just finishing in a second here. It's going to refresh, and I'm going to get the schedule. It's going to appear here. Well, this is all the way a Monday past. Now I'm going to scan down slowly. I would normally do this super fast, but for the purposes of training, see, these are all closed. They're all closed. They're all closed because they're all over. These are all past. They're done. And I think that these blue spots mean rush hour. And this is the morning rush hour. But that wouldn't make sense. Why would you have 1 a.m. rush hour? Maybe it is. So I don't know what that means, but I think it means rush hour, which is absolutely can't be because it's 2 or 3 in the morning on a weekday. It's not rush hour. Maybe it's not a weekday. That's why. Yeah, because that's a Saturday night till 5 in the morning. I guess people use this right through the night on weekends. All right, so I'm going to test this. Let me go back to Monday. So I'm now on Monday. Yeah, there's Tuesday, 5, 6. Look, it doesn't go way into the evening. It doesn't go to 4 or 5 in the morning. Only on the weekends. So yeah, I think this is conclusive. Or strong circumstantial evidence says that those blue things means rush hour. And that's when I got my first deliveries. I was not scheduled. I was getting overflow. When you're more likely to get overflow when it's rushing. That's when I got my first 3 deliveries, which I'm going to, listeners, stay with me. I'm going to show you those in a minute. So here we go. Okay, so let me just review. This is Sunday. This is the last day of the week in this zone that I clicked on. As you can see, everything's closed. Well, it's closed because it's history. It has already happened. So if I went through the whole week and continued to go in this direction, I could show you the whole week is closed because it's all history. So now you scan, you scan, you scan. Here's Sunday. Now we're starting into today where it's still history. It's still history. Right at the moment, it's 11 o'clock. And this is all synced for East Coast time, New York time. And here we go. 11 o'clock close. Look at I am going on the clock for the first time at noon. I could surrender that shift if I wanted to, and all I have to do is click swap. Well, in addition to that, I could pick up this shift if I wanted to. All I had to do is click and take it from that person who has surrendered it. So this is a great example. Listen, novice people considering Postmates. I promise you, you'll be confused about little quirky things that the experts can't teach you. And a month from now, I will have forgotten this. It'll just seem like second nature. But right now, I'm telling you, it's confusing. Please, this is the one thing that will confuse you. And there's no detailed training that I found, easily found. So here you go. If I wanted to swap means I have it. Swap, I could click there and swap it. I could put it out there, which is exactly what's happened here. So I am not going to take this shift because I'm going to be going back to New Jersey. But click, okay. I could accept it from this person, Mohammed, who surrendered it. So I'm not going to do that because I'll be going to New Jersey. But if I click swapped, then my name would go on this hour up here, in exactly the same way Mohammed's is up here. So someone could pick it up. And here's one of those exciting things. It's true about the New York City market and certainly the tech capital of the world, San Francisco, and maybe some other California places. But this is hot. So I pick these shifts up one at a time, kind of like a bird of prey sort of thing, watching, watching, watching. And I was still missing one when I went to bed. I think it was this one, 4 to 5 this evening. That one was not available. My eyes opened this morning, rolled over, took my phone, and this had been put up for swap. So in other words, it said one swap available. I think, yeah, it was only one swap. So overnight, sometime between when I went to bed, maybe midnight, 10, 11, whenever I went to bed, and when my eyes opened this morning, someone had surrendered this hour, and so I picked it up. Look at this. For the first time I'm scheduled 9 hours in a row. Okay, I'm an authentic novice. I am sincerely excited about this. Okay, so that's it with scheduling. Again, I tried to show that on the phone. If I were like a professional and I had a staff, I would edit this training and I would zap the part that I did on the phone because this is a better place to show it because I could screen share. Again, the reason why I did that is because I made a mistake. The reason I made that mistake is because I forgot the schedule was available both on the phone and at postmates.com/courier. Postmates.com/courier is available on any browser. The stuff on the app that's not on the Postmates.com courier is only available on the app. If it's only available on the app, that means you must have Android or iPhone, and I don't. This computer that I'm doing this Hangout from, where I'm sharing my screen from, is not one of those. It's doesn't matter what it is. It's not one of those. Okay, so I'm going. I guess I have to hit back, and I guess I have to hit back again. And I hit back too many times. Okay, there's my email. So I click right here. I've set this button up. This is postmates.com/courier. And oh, that's the problem. I go right to schedules. So that's my button doesn't go to main menu. My button goes right to schedules, but that's okay. So I deleted the schedule part. Now I got postmates.com.courier. So here we go. So far I've made $16 out of 3 deliveries. Which tells me I might have gotten a tip. My tips were all pending. Transfers, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Oh, that would be the banking. This is, and I know this has got stars on it, so this isn't a problem. There's my account name. This is where I bank at Ale Bank, and those are the last 4 digits of my Ale checking account. So my money is going to go in there daily. Every time I work, I earn something. I'm going to get a deposit. So yes, this is crazy. I'm going to go to dashboard, and this is 3. So let's split this. So 16 by 3 is well, let's pretend it's 15. So they're $5 a piece. at 3. So my first day was $5. My next day was $10. Again, that's rounded because that doesn't account for the $1.11. But let's forget there's a $1.11 there. I'm just trying to do easy math. Let's pretend this is 15 and it's 3 deliveries. So they're 5, 5, and 5. I did 5 on the first day. I earned $5 on the first day and 2 different $5 on the second day. So yes, this is true. That first $5 that I earned is going to go ding to Ally Bank in a transfer all by itself. So I am going to get a bank deposit of $5 minus the, like dime and a half that it costs to do the ACH. And that's going to come to me, you know, like within a week. So this is how you get paid. And one thing and again, I've made, this is now a second mistake I've made for the same reason. I still am confused about what is on Postmates.com/courier and what is on the app. So I did the schedule while I was on the app because I thought it was not on Postmates.com/courier. Again, Postmates.com/courier can be done from any browser. And I didn't know the schedule was on both. I did, but I forgot. So, so then I expected to be able to give the earnings in a more detailed fashion, but ding, 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 that's only on the app. So again, I'm making a second mistake here in this presentation for the same reason, because I'm confused about what is, okay, so now I'm taking my phone out. You can't see me do this because I'm still sharing my screen. And so now I'm going back to my screen sharing. I'm stopping. I'm still presenting to everyone. Okay, now I have my phone back. I'm pushing the button on the upper right. Again, this is for Android. And I'm clicking on right there on top. For some reason, it's better this time. That up here, near the finger that's moving, and the top, that's earnings. I'm going to click on earnings. I think I get more detail here. On postmates.com/courier, I just, yes, this is what, so it'd be so awesome if this could be read. So I sort of think that can be read. I'll keep messing with my phone a little bit to try to get it to be read. So again, focus, listeners. Again, the target audience of this is people considering Postmates or novice Postmate people. Again, at this moment, I am an authentic novice. This is a lesson you can only learn from a authentic novice, because once you get past these little things, you forget about them because they end up being completely unimportant. They're not unimportant. They're really important to a novice. So again, there's Postmates right there. Postmates sandwich, or no, that's Potbelly Sandwich Shop. So I'm going to turn this phone. Listeners, I want you to focus here. Okay. What that says is Postmates Sandwich Shop, and I'm pretty sure that could be read when I had it to the screen. And it shows the time that I did this delivery. It was yesterday at 4 o'clock. Now, I think that's when I started it. And I also think that really doesn't matter. And the payout was $6.16. Now, I really don't know why that one was bigger. I suppose it's a percentage of what she bought, but it was one woman. This was not an NFL player. This was a kind of woman that would, I consider, have a normal appetite. She was not obese, and she did not like she played WNBA. She was my age, so she had a normal amount of food that people like that eat. But yet I made another $1.16 from her. I don't know why. Okay, so that's 616. And I think that can be seen. 616. Again, I'm trying to focus there on the top one. That was Potbelly. Again, that's the woman who we had a cookie crisis. I called her. We got through that. She substituted something. It was no problem. The kind employee of Potbelly got me an alternative cookie. So there you go, 616. Incidentally, that Potbelly was very near Rockefeller Center on 6th, not over on 5th, Rockefeller Center, on 6th, Rockefeller Center, 6th Avenue. And it was on a side street. But but very close to 6th Avenue near Rockefeller Center. And I was, you know, 6 blocks from there when I accepted the job, and then I delivered to 8th Avenue and where was I? 8th Avenue and maybe 50th. Yeah, it was 50th. There's a residential tower there. A nice woman named Marion. It was a great delivery. All the while, I'm passing from Potbelly. I felt like I was passing three, four, five, six different Potbellies. Whatever, it was Saturday. Maybe a lot of them were closed. I don't know why the app sent me there, but I do trust it was for good reason. I just kind of got suspicious as I went. Okay, I'm moving on to the second one. Second one right there. That's Juice Press. This is absolutely a crazy set of circumstances. I was right here where I am 2 different days in a row. I went on, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I went online to say, hey, I'm ready. I'll take orders from this very spot 2 consecutive days, and I got the very same delivery, right, to Juice Press. No, not just very same that I just went to Juice Press. I went to Juice Press, but my destination was the same office tower. And again, it was dinners for one was a young woman named Abigail, and the other was a young man. I no longer have his name. Um, his he was working on Saturday, so I don't know what these people do in that office tower, but they're working hard. Corporate America loves you. Keep the economy going. I love you, Abigail, and I wish I remembered his first name. Oh well. So, anyways, those two right there is this crazy irony. Juice Press, these were exactly the same orders. Again, these are the orders nobody else wants. So who gets them? Authentic novices like me, who was working the first delivery. Um, who's working the first delivery uh, uh, unscheduled. I was not scheduled. So what? I don't get priority. I get what other people don't want. Who are other people? Other people who are scheduled. Does that mean I'm always not scheduled? No, I'm scheduled today for 9 hours. There should be no question about it. I'm very excited about this. Okay, so there you go. Um, now I'm going to go back to when I took my very first order. All right, novices, I am changing posture. I am trying to get your attention. You are considering Postmates. You have not done your first order. Going very back to the beginning of the training, all right? You got your cell phone. And you kind of do Facebook and take calls from friends and you text, but you don't really know what your cell phone's doing. It's not going to work. I'm telling you, listen to me. If you hear nothing, if you've made it this far in this training, you obviously care. And if you care, do not ignore me on this point. Understand what your cell phone is doing. Understand the difference between 4G and 3 and 2G. Understand what apps are running. Understand what, when you say stop, do they really stop? Because some of them come back. I'm going to give you an example. As you saw, I'll show it again. I'm going to go to the main screen. There's my, the green app is the F like Fleet app, which is different than the black like Postmates app. Fleet is for professionals like me, not hungry people like Marion. So right next to it, okay, I'm covering it with my finger, and then I pull back, and I have proportionally long fingers, unlike Donald Trump. So the blue and the red dot is Flickr. Okay, so I'm doing Flickr because that's how I keep track of my personal receipts. Uh, listeners, there's a thing about receipts. You don't need any extra instructions from me. The phone tells you exactly how to do it. Don't worry about it. So um, the app tells you how to do it when you're in the course of a delivery. So once you start the delivery, the app it's just like you just read the app and tell you and do what it says to do, and don't worry about it. But now, how do you get your first order? Now, this is crazy. This is why I went back to knowing your cell phone. Because in addition to knowing what's running and what's not, and how to stop apps and discover which ones are stubborn, I had to go into the Flickr app and turn off notifications within the app to get it to stop running and stay stopped because it was volunteering itself back into my running list. I fixed that relatively easy. Listeners, listen to me. You must know how to do that with your phone, iPhone or Android. There's a lot of help on how to do that. Just read conserving battery and that kind of stuff. So, anyways, I got only the apps running that I need or that I think I need. I minimize the list to like 6. So my running apps are only like 6, and it does not include Flickr. That will go on when I ask for it to go on. So now my Fleet app from Postmates is the opposite. I have notifications on. I have it at full volume. I have it also vibrating. I'm doing everything I can to make sure I get that notice. Well, here's what's happened. I get my first notice and it goes past so fast. I don't even get a chance to consider it. So I'm like, this is a disaster. How do I? So then I'm sitting there, watching these notifications come. Whatever your phone, whatever my phone was doing, I had the default ringer on. Whatever it was doing, it's also vibrating. And I panic, and I accept, reject. I'm skipping, I'm skipping. But then some came in and went so fast, I didn't even get a chance to accept or reject. So, novice people, it's probably the most exciting thing. I just got my notepad open. I didn't want to do that. That's probably the most exciting thing about this process is you're like, oh, I got my first order. What do I do? Doesn't matter. You weren't fast enough, and so you didn't get it. This is survival of the fittest. I was not fit enough. Today, I think I'll be much better, but I'm still anxious, and I still don't know how to respond to these apps properly. So this will probably novice people. This will probably be irrelevant to you. But what I was doing when I was effing up, that's effing up like the F word, like fucking up. I was doing this. I would get my notice and I would go like this. And then my notice, I got a Postmate schedule. Duh, I know that. Bink. Now my notice is gone. I was going to that list and then touching on the notice. Duh. That's Android. That's not the right thing to do. Okay, I'm not going to sit here like I'm an expert in Android and tell you that I know the right thing to do because I don't. I think I know the right thing to do because I think it's not that, which means it's something else. But I'm not going to say what it is right now because I'm going to confirm it very soon. All right, and now I'm going to do the very last lesson, and let me just go over my apps. I decided to keep on my desktop a browser, a camera. You don't need that, even though the Postmates requires you to take pictures of receipts. You can do that without the camera app because it's built into the Postmates Fleet app. I have Hangouts because that's where my text goes. I have that's Google. This is Google Drive, which I need for because it makes me feel better. That's why I need it. This right here is Notepads. That's where I have my wife's schedule, so I can um, interact with the app and try to get a schedule that matches my wife's. Uh, and and then there's Flickr. I've explained enough about that. And then there's the Fleet app. Again, it's green. It's there's only 2 apps on any of the places that you get apps, and one is green and it's Fleet, and the other is black and it's Postmates. So this is F like Fleet, not P like Postmates. So now the final lesson, and I'm going to quit this training. So back to the. I'm gonna do this more slowly. Okay, home screen. Bidding, bidding. Look at that. Look at that. Crazy. No. Yeah, look at that. It worked. No, it didn't. I misclicked. Okay, I'm trying not to be so cute. All right, right there. I'm gonna click on the green one. Gink. That was the P. That was the Postmates F like Fleet app. Green, not black, not Postmates. Fleet for Postmates, not Postmates. The name of the app is Fleet and it's green. So now I'm into the app for. Um, so now I'm gonna go. Um, okay, I'm here at the main screen, and I have to turn my phone, but I'm gonna hit right here. I'm gonna hit right here, account, and that's gonna take me back to account, which is kind of screwy because the back button I wasn't that account in the first place. So there's the map. Obviously, if you're in a different market, you're not going to have a map of Manhattan, but I have a map of Manhattan because that's where I am. And those color zones are the hot zones. So, and look at, I'm in a hot zone right now. So as soon as my scheduled shift starts at noon, 40 minutes, I'm already where I want to be. Um, and so what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Okay, here it is. This is the final lesson. I'm going to be absolutely sure this can be seen. See at the top, it says offline. literally, I am going to turn that offline. I'm going to turn that online. And I'm telling you, novice people, this is the most anxious moment. You go online, you think you have your notifications set up properly, you get a notification, and so fast you don't get it. It's the coolest thing. Um, Again, I'm going to go online, which tells the system I'm right here. Now, at this moment, I'm not scheduled. I'm not scheduled for another. Not scheduled for another 20 and 38 minutes, 37 minutes. Um, so I would go online, which says I'm available for overflow. Again, no one else says overflow. That's my word. That means the scheduled people get priority. The overflow orders, my orders so far have been overflow. So, so again, that location is where I am. And if I were to go online, which is nothing more than flipping this switch right here, flipping that switch right there, that tells the system where I am. And here's another cool thing about this. When I do a delivery, I accept it. I keep referring to Marion because she had the most memorable order. She's also the most recent. Marion, if she cared to, I have no reason to think she did, but if she cared to, Marion could have followed me along. She could have seen in an app on her map, in the Postmates app, she could have seen me schlepping her, and not see me physically, of course, not a picture, but I would have been a dot on the map moving closer to her. She would have been able to see me leave wherever I was. I think it was in Times Square, higher Times Square, like in the 48s, 50s, 7th Broadway, somewhere like there. She would have seen me. My dot would have moved over to Rockefeller Center to get a Potbelly, and then she would have gotten a call from me while I was at Potbelly. Like I say, I have no reason to Marion do this. I have no reason to believe Marion did this, except I know she can. And so all of a sudden she sees that I'm at Postmates. All of a sudden the phone rings. It's like, hey, this guy's got a cookie crisis. Okay, we get through the cookie crisis. Now she can see me schlepping all the way. Again, not see me, see the dot moving on the map all the way. So for a hungry person who's bored, this is absolutely awesome. You don't get that from Domino's. So that's it. I am going to close this Hangout. I'm going to flip that to online, and I'm going to be 30 minutes getting overflow orders. And I'm pretty confident I'm going to get something in the next half hour. So my first delivery today will be overflow. And then I will automatically, when the clock turns past noon, I will be on the schedule. So in theory, I'm going to get the priority orders, both in quality, higher prices, whatever, shorter, and higher quality, and more of them. Like I say, I've done a number of hours, and I've only done 3 deliveries, but they were all overflow. I wasn't scheduled. I repeat, overflow is my word. It doesn't seem to be used anywhere in the app, and I didn't hear Diego or any of the other professionals at Postmates. Again, I review. I if you are a novice, listeners, if you are a novice considering Postmates, you haven't done a delivery, or you haven't, you're still just really confused and you sort of quit, you're considering restarting. Summary: get a phone, use it for nothing else, and of course is optional. But get a phone and make sure you know what your phone's doing. Before I beat the bushes to get all my unnecessary apps off this thing, before I got all my unnecessary apps off this thing, I had 3 screens of apps. Now I have less than half. Okay, I could fill this with apps. I had 3 screens of these. I don't need them. I'm using this $19 phone, $19 ZTE. I'm using it exclusively for Postmates, so I don't need all this other bullshit. So in addition to getting them off the screen, I also got them out of running because I could take Flickr and make it vanish, but it would still be operating. And it could still be in my running list, even though it's not on my menu here. So this menu is just to present to me. So anyways, lesson number 1. This if you use your phone, you kind of don't know what it is. You just do Facebook and text with your friends. All right, this is not good enough. You gotta know what your phone is doing, what it's not, what's consuming battery power, and so on. All right, I just got a ping, and I wish I was screen sharing. Okay, I'm going to screen share. I lied. This is not going to be my final thing. I think if I go to Hangouts, let's see what happens here. I'm going to share my screen. Google Hangouts is sharing, and I'm presenting to everyone. Listeners, it just disappeared. Damn it. All right, so I got to go and show you that. So that's in Hangouts. All right, so right here, right here, this is so cool. So again, I am an authentic novice. Right here, the bottom on the list. Reminder: you are scheduled Postmates shift today from 12 to 1. Again, this came out of Postmates and it came into my Hangouts. So this doesn't necessarily come to Hangouts. It comes wherever you have your text program to come. This is SMS. This is text. And it's come to me from this number 415, which I know to be, a lot of people know to be the tech headquarters of the world, certainly the tech headquarters of this country, San Francisco, or the Bay Area is more appropriate. It's South Bay Area, Silicon Valley. So 415. No, that's 415 is San Francisco. Okay, I claim not to know. I claim to know, and now I'm reversing that. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay, I ended up doing an addendum because of it got pinged. I wanted to show that to you. That's telling me I've got my first scheduled shift, making me listeners. Again, I'm targeting people who are considering Postmates. They consider themselves a novice either because they haven't started or they did start and they quit. They're confused. They don't get it. And it feels like everyone knows what they're doing and they don't. You know why? Because everyone knows what they're doing and you don't. This video, I'm telling you, this video is the one video you need to get going on Postmates. There you go. Lesson number one. Make sure you know what your phone's doing and what it's not. Figure out how to conserve the battery. Get the other bullshit applications that are giving you notices and stop them. You got to learn how to do that. Stop. Make sure you know what your phone's running and make sure it's running only the ones you want. If you got other things, like if you're on an order and you got notifications from Facebook friends, you have made a mistake. I promise you, it's a personal item and you can do it however you want. I guarantee nobody who knows what they're doing has chirping from Facebook that sounds and acts exactly like Postmates, all right? Because when you're doing what we're doing at Postmates, you care about Postmates, and you certainly don't care as much right then. Now, hey, it might be your brother's announcement that he's getting married. That's great. But you got a hungry person waiting for food, so you can learn about your brother's announcement of his engagement, in 3 hours. That's fine. So you got to snuff those other distracting notifications. You got to know how to do that. Lesson number one. Lesson number two is scheduling. Figure out how to get on the schedule and get on the schedule soon. I'm on the schedule in 30 more minutes. Again, I'm going to go, as soon as I stop this hangout, I'm going to go and flip my thing to ready after I get this headset off and that kind of stuff. And I feel like I'm truly ready. And that's it. So the first thing, I'll go back to Diego at the beginning. Diego, if I'm fortunate enough to get your attention, I want you to know this sincerely. Number one, I did not take your advice. I did not get an iPhone. They're $800. This is 19. All right. You're a great guy. I want to be more like you, but I'm not ready to be that cool. I live in New Jersey, not in Brooklyn. I sincerely think you are cool. Not only cooler than I am, I think you're cooler than like everyone I know. You got 10 bicycles. You got an iPhone 6. You are awesome. And the reason why I mentioned Diego at the end is because Diego knows what he's doing. He is a professional. He is a high-performing professional, and now he's in management with Postmates. So soon I will know more about Postmates, and I will have forgotten these tricky things when I was a novice. So listeners, right now I'm an authentic novice. Very soon I will be an inauthentic novice. And I mean very soon. These little things get solved like in a blink, and next thing you know, like I can feel it. In a week, I'll feel like an expert. Right now, I don't. And so, anyways, compare me right now with Diego. You can learn from Diego, but you know what? He knows too much. You want someone like me. And someone like me goes through this. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. I'm doing it. I'm a novice. I'm an expert, or at least I'm advanced. Expert is too advanced. But in a week or so, I'm going to be a fluid. How about that word? Okay, so you want someone who's a novice to teach you the stupid, distracting, confusing things that you're going to get when you're a novice. So if you happen to be fortunate enough to considering Postmates and you happen to have listened to this whole video and you've made it to this point, you've done it for good reasons. If you got through this video and you're going to try Postmates after it, a lot of the stuff I just went through is going to be a lot smoother for you. So thank you for listening. If you made it to the end and you are truly my A audience, you're considering Postmates or considering it again, you consider yourself a novice or interested in Postmates, you did the right thing. You stayed in this video to the end. You are my primary audience, and thank you for listening. I just think this is so much fun. So here I am, Port Authority. There, I'll show you the Starbucks. Here's the Starbucks at Port Authority. That's the Wi-Fi I'm on. It's been Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty and a Google search for my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, a restful night's sleep. Ciao.